Yes, and welcome Twitch. Welcome Twitch to the smAsho News Network, least busted name in news. Welcome YouTube and BitChute, wherever you're viewing it. Welcome to you. As we do in our meteorology segments, we're starting things out, streaming live here, looking at the jet streams of the Western world. Huge bend here over the North Atlantic. Looks like another anticyclone here south of Iceland. As the world reels from a Pacific Rim-wide tsunami. Here is the absolutely berserk stuff going on yesterday, folks. And if you watched yesterday's video, we actually captured the explosion of that seamount on our water vapor map. It was insane. These are the surface winds of the Western world. Strong winds here, south of Newfoundland and over the Gulf of Mexico. The winds of the east are looking like this. There they are on the surface. Strong winds here blowing out of the Bering Sea into the Pacific Ocean. As well as a strong low here over Western Australia. A couple other systems here. This low here moving toward New Zealand. Moving into the Kermadec Trench region there. Here are the jets of the east. Quite chaotic jet streams here around Australia. Some big bends there. It's an N-shape. An N-shaped bend, folks. Highly concentrated jet stream over the western Pacific. Next, your 72-hour precipitation and pressure forecast for the lower 48, and yowzers, some heavy snows on the western side of this thing, and some wet snows in the center, and a huge ice storm is currently setting up. So we've slowed this down to a half a second here so you have time to look at everything. Huge ice storm here striking South Carolina. And it's going to move up. It's going to be very intense ice storm there, according to the GFS model there in places like Northern Virginia. The U.S. Capitol, it's going to get heavily iced. It's going to be frigid. It's going to be like a frigid, icy, frozen ice rink. Yowzers. That's going to cause power outages probably, folks. Even some ice expected to hit Pennsylvania there. So this is going to be quite the storm. It might not be your favorite. I think we're forecasted about 3 to 6 inches here in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. We keep the forecast zoomed out on these meteorology segments. If you've got a specific area you'd like us to forecast for, let us know in the comments. We'll consider it. This time we brought up the windy.com satellite imagery. Some great interpolated imagery here using various different instruments to get you the likely cloud environment, even if it's dark, as I think it still is where I'm located. And again, we are streaming live. Let me just check the life of the stream here. Yeah, everything looks a-okay. So winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories and all kinds of stuff up the entire East Coast. Again, some ice storms expected, some very serious ice storms. So, and some of them are already happening. So we forecasted there over the next 72 hours, there's going to be it's going to be some mayhem. Some mayhem, folks. Next to your lightning mapper, it looks like we have some lightning over central Florida. Shout out to Robera. Do we have any terrestrial lightning? It doesn't look like it. It looks like the storm over Tampa has calmed down a bit. Cape Coral. There's thunder rolling in from the Gulf. Anyway, that's a real-time lightning map. And we show that because we streamed the video live. Twitch.tv/smAsho is where it was streamed live too. Thanks to our BitChute subscribers, as well as our YouTube subscribers. Congratulations on realizing that the channel exists. For everybody who was hoping that it was a UFO, sorry folks, it's a camera flaw. So lots of stuff to be covering. And we kept our coverage of the tsunami and so on to a minimum because everybody else is covering it. There's ample material on the internet about that. So I would say to all of you, Universum Liberate, if you feel obligated to do anything, Universum Liberate. To quote Geddy Lee, in Russia's album title track, Presto, from, I believe, 1989 release, if I could wave my magic wand, I'd set everybody free. Universum Liberate, the motto of the Galactic Federation Special Forces, available at our Redbubble shop. You can find a link at smashamash.com. Today's astronomy picture of the day falls into a meteorological category, so we decided to put it in the meteorology section and skip our cosmology section. It's some mammatus clouds trailing a thunderstorm. So this is the thing we normally see. Often mammatus clouds trail a thunderstorm. Probably some sort of an equalization factor for a pressure gradient. Cold air driving its way down there, making those bulbous-looking clouds as the extremely concentrated low-pressure system of the thunderstorm moves away. Looks like the moon captured in that image as well. So great image there of that retreating thunderstorm. Here's the imagery where we saw the volcanic eruption yesterday. Absolutely berserk. It completely changed the water vapor environment because it evaporated. Probably something like millions of tons of water. I don't know how much water, but quite a lot, enough to make a huge signal. And so volcanic aerosols currently being emitted into the atmosphere at the stratospheric level, as well as volcanic ash. So this is the water vapor environment over the Pacific, and that's what happens when you look at the instruments, folks. When you look at this stuff, you see things. Science is crazy that way. When you look at stuff, that's a quote. You can quote me on that. When you look at stuff, you see things. That's one to grow on. To quote the G.I. Joe public service messages, that's one to grow on. Here's the U.S. Doppler radar, all 50 states. Here's the lower 48s. Strong low here, creating some weather over Atlanta. Shout out to our Georgian viewers, like Sherry O'Neill Driggers. Here's the shortwave radiation map. Low clouds over the Gulf and the eastern seaboard as this thing moves over top. Your dreary days are about to get, well, drearier if you're in the eastern portion of the U.S., especially the Northeast. As you can see, this warmer, moister air moving to the north. Again, the low is practically right over Atlanta. Well, it's right about there. Maybe a little north of that. But in any case, there's your problem. When it comes to the current precipitation situation, there's the Doppler radar. This is measuring water droplets moving vertically in the air column. Some snow there in places like Minnesota and Wisconsin and eastern Montana. Here's your shortwave radiation map. There is your water vapor map. That's your recap. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. smAsho, signing off from the Smash News Network. Least busted. Name it news.